All right, this one's crazy. I'm scrolling on YouTube one day, and this film pops up on my homepage. It's called The In-Between, a short film following Denver Broncos quarterback Bo Nix grinding through a brutal off-season workout in 92-degree Alabama heat. And as a Broncos fan, and I've been a Broncos fan my entire life, I'm instantly hooked. The storytelling, the visuals, it was just all so good and just different too. But then I started noticing the music and the tonal sound effects. And I was like, wait a second. Let's multiply sound. Who is the filmmaker behind this? Turns out it's Mason Wakefield, not only a killer storyteller, but also a longtime Multiply Sound affiliate. So I reached out and we had a conversation. In this video, we're gonna be breaking down how Mason used 7 licensed songs in a 9-minute film, layered a ton of tonal sound effects, and showed that music isn't just the background. It is the driving force that will set you apart as a filmmaker and help you land the dream projects and stories you've been chasing. Let's get into it. I am stoked you are here because I think a lot of video editors can learn a lot from you, because I'm not just paying attention to the visual aspects. Like, obviously watching this video, the visuals are incredible. What he says too is incredible, and the placement of all of those and the raw moment, towards the very end, obviously. Yeah. But really what I'm paying attention to is the music, and not just like the music, but the musical storytelling throughout this whole process. What was your approach to the music in this film? Like, there were so many different styles, right?
For sure.
A lot of people think like, okay, football, hip hop, like I didn't hear a hip hop song till the very end,
Yeah.
And so there was like all these like weird, like cool synth, like arpeggiated stuff. Like, what was your approach to the musical storytelling of this film?
From the beginning, Bo helped me out too. He was like, I don't want to do what everybody else does. I think music, and you can attest to this, I think music is so much about what do people feel. While he's working out, I want people to feel like they're out of breath. While he's talking about chaos, I want people to feel stressed. While he is recovering, I want people to be like, oh, okay, I can breathe again.
The margin of error is very small.
You cut the music out during those moments.
Yes.
Yep.
And so that was my thought process, was like, how can I get people like so intertwined with like his feelings and emotions that they like feel how he feels?
Mm-hmm. The emotion that came up for me watching this, especially in like the first 75% of it, was just like uncomfortability. Like, I didn't feel comfortable. You could tell like, okay, it was hot, and so you pick these like songs and music that like had these like synth arpeggiated walking up, like, what's going on here? It doesn't feel like there's a nice melody or there's like this nice chord progression.
One thing that I've learned from you and from your stuff, I tried in a lot of these, not all of them, but there's a lot more minor keys than I've ever used before, just because I've noticed that a lot of the minor keys really help build tension and really feel like a little bit more intense. I was like, let's like really make this feel like hard. Because it was 95 degrees in Alabama. So it was like super humid.
He's like saying, I don't want to be out here.
Yeah, he didn't like, realistically, he didn't want to be. But like, that's like the motivation and the thought behind the whole, like the video is called The In-Between.
Yep. And
the In-Between is gritty. It is hard. It is not pretty.
Yep.
It is
lonely.
It's the moments that make, the moments that everybody sees where they're like, oh, I wish I, got that kind of attention. And I wish that I had the opportunity to be out there, whatever. It's the moments that actually like create that, right? Mm-hmm. And so these are the moments that actually matter. So that way, when you get to the big moments where everybody's watching, you can actually perform. And so the goal was like, let's show like what it actually takes to get there.
Yeah. How many songs were actually used? I'm curious.
Question. Let's see. I'll go ahead and just share my screen. I also have already highlighted the stuff.
Cool.
Yours are orange. I wanted everybody to know it's pops. Yours are bright orange.
Let's go. Dude, that's
So
sick to see, man. Damn.
These are yours. Yeah. So a lot of these, most of these like green things that you see are camera audio. So like really, it's like 75% of the sounds are your stuff.
Dude, that's sick.
So
totally.
We've got 1 song here, 2 songs here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 7-ish songs.
Dude, that's crazy. In a 9-minute film, there are 7 different songs and other tonal sound effects. Like, I mean, talk about like the first thing that comes to mind is just keeping people's attention, you know?
That's the goal, man. That's the goal. And I think like, you know, Boomer, I think before you released your sound pack, my thought process with this would have been, let's find a song that meets all my needs.
Yep.
How can I find a song that like fits everything? And I would have searched for forever, and it would have been, you know, whatever. I would have finally found something, and I would have been like, okay, this will do. But what I've learned now is to be able to transition in between songs without just going to a black screen. That's been like the game changer, right? I think having the sound pack with sounds that are tonal so I can switch things has completely shifted my mindset from like, let me find a song that meets all my needs to like, let me create something with sound that matches what I want to do, that matches the story I want to tell. Dude. So I'm not victim of the song. I'm instead, you know, like at the liberty of like, no, I want to dictate what the music does, right? And
I love that, man.
That's been huge, man.
I love that. I mean, it is actually a mindset shift, you know?
Absolutely.
It's not taking a song for face value and what it is, but dreaming about what it could be, what all these songs could be. Yo, I'm back. I want to zero in on a very specific section of this film. It's at the 2:30 mark where Mason starts to use a ton of tonal sound effects that lead into a licensed song. So first, let's watch this 50-second sequence and really listen to the music and sound. Dial your ears to what's really going on.
You better hit it while you got it.
They say, you know, all these cliche statements about, you know, who you are when nobody's watching, but when you really actually think about it, what you do on a daily basis in the off season is how you're going to eventually train yourself and the habits that you're going to form for the season. My training is centered around being the best athlete that I can be. So if I can train that in the off season, then I keep myself healthy and I just keep myself exposed.
Let me break this down for you. I recreated the tonal sound effects from the film score collections to help you understand what's happening. The licensed song that Mason is using is in the key of C sharp minor. So when he went to the film score collection, all the tonal sound effects have to be in the same key, C sharp minor as well. He used a tonal riser that leads into 2 hits and a bass synth drone. Listen. Then, he introduced another drone in the mid-frequency section to even things out. Now, watch him build up everything with 2 more tonal transitions into a licensed song. Let's go. Also, listen how the licensed song really isn't that prominent in the mix. It's kind of just in the background. I especially love how Mason saw this full licensed song, didn't take it for face value, listened to it, and only liked a very specific 20 seconds of it. So he got rid of the rest and built his own musical story and intro to the sequence that he wanted to tell. That is having control of the music and sound in your films. films. There are tons of other sections in this film that Mason took me through that absolutely blew me away, and I could totally highlight more, and maybe that's for another video. But let's get back to our talk with him as he expresses how important the music and sound is to your films. Really good. Really good editing, really good storytelling. I'm very, very impressed. The thing that you said at the beginning of this that really, I think people should write this down and take note of is you had this client, Bo Nix, tell you, I want to do things different. And there's a lot of different ways to approach that. But one of the best ways to approach being different is from emotion. And what is the leading tool that we can use for emotion is music, right? Music holds the hand of your audience and can tell things in a different way. Can you maybe expand on that more of like why when a client says, I want things different, why do you think music first?
If I'm being completely honest, 60 to 70% of my work revolves around music. Mm-hmm. Which is not what people would think of when you say I'm a videographer. Maybe 60%, 70% of my editing, right? So when I am creating a film, I have noticed that films look, feel, do incredibly well when the music matches the emotion of the film. I think music, sound effects, all of those things are so critical in our perception of what we see. We don't realize it, but like when you're watching something, you're also like feeling something. And I think what we keep going back to, me and you, is that like sound has a lot more to do with the feelings and the emotions than the actual visuals do. The visuals partner with that. And the visuals allow your audience to understand what they're hearing. If you ask somebody what they would rather do, watch a movie in silence or listen to a song, like, what are they going to choose? They'd rather listen to the song. And I think like that just goes to show you like what sound actually means to us as filmmakers. Like sound is the critical piece that if it's missing, everybody notices it. And if it's done well, nobody realizes it, but they feel it. And I think that's ultimately why I chose to really go deep in the sound, is because I cared a lot more about how people felt than how cool people thought my visuals were. The visuals, like, dude, every single camera these days, like, you can get a camera. I mean, I just saw another camera came out recently that's like cheaper and better, and every camera's good.
Your iPhone is good.
dude, every camera is good. Storytelling has so much to do with how you piece those together and then how you tell that story through sound. And I think that's ultimately what it comes down to, is that like if you want people to actually feel something when they watch what you make, you have to level up in the sound game, or else, you know, you're gonna have cool looking videos that don't feel.
Speaking the truth, man. I appreciate you so much for, I don't know, making this happen, and I'm excited for people to watch this and be challenged in that way, because it is like it's crazy coming into this industry and just being like, you know, cameras, gear, lenses, LUTs, like color theory. I'm like, does it really matter that much? You know, I think it can be there can be a case for, you know, color science, color theory,
for sure,
lenses, whatever. But I'm like, I got by not the best visual, you know, videographer, but I was able to, you know, push the limits of my business and where I was able to travel to, and my clients and larger luxury packages. It was not because of my visuals. You know,
well, overall, I'd say 75% of the clients that talk to me that are initial inquiries say, I just love how your videos feel. they always say, like, I felt all of the emotions. I felt like I was there. The only thing that I do that's semi-different than other people is I spend at least 50% of my time on sound. And that makes the biggest difference in the world.
Thank you to Mason for joining us on this breakdown of his film, The In-Between. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. Go subscribe to him. Go follow him on Instagram. And if you would like to learn more about tonal sound effects and how to take more control of the emotion in your films, check out multiplysound.com. We will see you next time. Peace.